Good morning, boys and girls. Happy Friday. I hope you are all doing well. Today we are going to read Thomas Edison, the inventor. Yesterday you guys read this with Miss Maris, and today we're just going to reread it because, like I always say, good readers always reread. So here we go. Thomas Edison, inventor. Young Tom Edison asked a lot of questions. When someone told him, I don't know, Tom had one more question. He asked, Why don't you know? He did lots of experiments to find out. Tom watched a goose sit on some eggs. He saw the eggs hatch. He wanted to know what happened if he sat on an egg. So Tom made a nest. Then he put goose and chicken eggs in the nest. Next, he sat on the eggs and found out splat. Young Tom also knew that birds ate worms and birds could fly. What if people ate worms? Tom guessed that they would fly too. So he gave a cup of chopped worms and water. The girl drank it and got sick, and she did not fly. Tom Edison, the boy who asked all these questions and did those unusual experiments, became the man whose inventions changed the world. Tom Edison was born in 1847 in Million, Ohio. He was the seventh and the youngest child of Sam and Nancy Edison. Sam was a lumber mill, and Nancy had been a teacher. When Tom had trouble in school, his mother became his teacher at home. Chapter 2. Young Tom did many of his experiments in the cellar of his home. He had lots of jars of chemicals. He wanted to keep people from messing with them. To fix the problem, he had an idea. He wrote poison on each jar. He thought that would keep them others away, and he was right. There was often smoke, strange smells, and loud noises in the Edison house. It all came from the cellar and from young Tom's experiments. Tom needed money to pay for the chemicals and other things. As a result, he got a job when he was 12. He sold newspapers and candies on a train. Then at 15, he began to write, print, and sell his own newspapers for travelers. He named it the Grand Trunk Herald. Tom wrote news of people he met on the train. He also wrote how he felt about work. The more to do, he wrote in the newspapers, the more done. Tom liked to keep busy. He kept very busy on the train. He even set up his own lab in the baggage car. As Tom got older, he kept doing great things. There were no telephones at the time. Instead, messages were sent through telegraph wires. They were sent in a code of dots and dashes. Tom learned the code. He got a job sending and reading telegraph messages. He found new ways to use telegraph. Those were some of his first inventions. Chapter 3. When Tom grew up, he became an inventor. He invented all kinds of things that helped people. At the time, burning gas lights lit homes and streets. Sometimes smoke from the lights would fill a room. Sometimes fire from the light would burn down a house. Tom was sure that he could make a better light, so he did experiments with electric light. He had lots of ideas. His notes filled hundreds of notebooks. After more than a year of work, Tom did, he made a light that was safe to use. The electric light is a light of the future, Tom said. and it will be my light. Edison's light was big news. People came all over to see them. Once they saw Edison's light, they wanted them for in their homes. Tom's light brightened the world. Tom Edison spent his whole life making great things. The things he made helped people everywhere. All right, the end. And here you could see that this is kind of a photo album of Tom, him at the age of 15, and just different things that he has invented along the way. And what you're going to do now, boys and girls, you are going to write a story, um, or retell the story from beginning, what happened first, next, then, and last. So you could write or tell somebody that. And then you are going to go in your practice books and do page 238. And that is all I have for you today. I hope that everybody has a fabulous weekend, and make sure to wish your mothers, your grandmothers, anyone who you love dearly a very happy Mother's Day. And I will see you guys next week.